Good morning again. How's everybody doing? Y'all not okay? I was like, ain't nobody answer me. Take this out. So, welcome. I'll do an official welcome in just a minute, but while we're waiting on a few more people, I thought we might do some trivia. And this is pop culture for you all's age trivia. Y'all ready? Okay, you can win some prizes. All right, here we go. Which popular rap artist's real name is Nevadius Wilburn? Is it who? I don't even know who that is. What'd you say? No, that's not it. Anybody? Nevadius Wilburn. Kendrick Lamar? No. I think, is that his real name? I don't know. Nobody got that one? Okay. That's Future. I didn't know that either. Which was the first historically black college, HBCU, in America? Nobody? I don't even know if it was in Texas, but it's Cheyney. I don't know that one. Cheyney University. I didn't know that one either. Let's see. Who invented the 3-position traffic signal in 1923 that includes the yellow light? I do know this one. Come on, y'all. Don't y'all do Black History every February? Come on, nobody? Kai, you don't know who that is? The 3 signal traffic light, come on. Okay, who'd you say? Go ahead. That's correct. You get $1. Okay, next one. Let me see. I don't know if y'all know. Try and get something that maybe we'll. Who was the most famous African American sprinter ever? You want me to say it again? Who'd you say? That is a good guess, but no.
Carl Lewis.
Nope, Carl Lewis is not right. Sha'Carri Richardson is not right. Did you look it up? Did you look it up? Jesse Owens is correct, so I'm not going to give you that $1. Okay. Where did the evolution of jazz music start? Correct. In Harlem, New York. Where? Yeah. Very good. There's your $1. Oh. It's trying to make me sign up. Let me see what else we have. Continue. Oh, my goodness. Where did MLK give his I Have a Dream speech? Come on, y'all. It's too early for trivia. Say it. Too early for trivia. What'd you say, Tamisha? Where did Martin Luther King Jr. give his I Have a Dream speech? Come on. I know y'all smart in here. Who'd you say? It is Washington, D.C. Do you know where in Washington, D.C.? The Lincoln Memorial. I'll give it to you because you got the closest. Who gave you the answer? You did? Oops, sorry. You should have said it. All right. Ooh. Let's see. Malcolm X is one of our nation's biggest civil rights leaders, an Islam devotee. He adopted the X to replace the slave name that was forced upon his family. What was his original name? His original last name. I didn't even know this. Who? No. I didn't know this one either. No? It's Little. Harriet Tubman escaped slavery and made about 13 missions to rescue around 70 slaves. What Underground Railroad code name? What was her Underground Railroad code name? Or what was her nickname, I guess? Huh? Correct. It was Moses. You get $1. You knew it? You said it. Okay, probably, let me see how many dollars I have. Just a couple more. Oh, that's a tough one. Which American city is considered the home of hip hop? Who said New York? That is correct, New York. All right, I think this is the last one. No, I have two. What is the stage name of Trevor Tahim Smith? Trevor Tahim Smith. I know. This will be our generation, kind of, though. Okay, that one's Busta Rhymes. Y'all know who that is? Do y'all know who that is? Oh, okay. I don't know what that is. Oh, they already had that question. Okay. Well, we will get started. I'm still waiting on my people, but we'll go ahead and get started. So welcome again. So glad that you all have decided to join us this morning. We are planning to be out by 1. We're starting a little bit late. But I want to welcome you. I am Dr. Carmen Williams. I'm an assistant professor at the City University of New York in population health informatics. Let me see if I can get this to work. No, hold on 1 second. Ooh, that sprayed me right in the Just click on the. Why'd y'all change it? No. Why'd you change it? I know I had it where people on mine. It's okay. I think this will work if I. Yeah. Okay. So I welcome you. I am not only, I'm a professor now, but I was once a high school student, as you see in the green. It got a little messed up. And then a college student, but I had no idea what to do, what to think, what to be. And so I thought College Bound would be a really good way to get us just thinking about things, prepared for college. I know some of us are already in college. You could give some of our new college people who are going into college some ideas and things like that. So it's a joy to welcome you to this year. It's specifically created, specially created for you, with you in mind. Today is about equipping and encouraging. It's about moving forward on your academic and your life journey. And so this year we wanted to focus on Stay the Path as a reminder that your goals, your dreams, your purpose, they're worth staying focused for. And so the road is not easy. We'll talk about some of the trials that we've gone through. But the purpose is worth staying focused for. And so there's going to be distractions, there's going to be challenges, there's going to be unexpected things that come up. But stay committed to your vision, your values will keep you grounded, and then you'll move forward. And so we're here to support you. I have some resources. We'll have resources. You can always call me if you have questions. We could talk about it. But we are a community that believes in you and your success. And so let's get ready to get started. So welcome. I would like for each of you to stand. Give us your name, your high school, the grade you will graduate or have graduated, and your college major or your planned career, and then one thing that you're looking forward to about college, and then one thing that makes you nervous. So there are mics around on the table, or I can give you a mic. Who would like to go first? Come on, don't be shy. Y'all need a mic? He prayed.
Oh, I got food in my mouth. Okay. Hi, my name is Travion Wills. I attended Brenham High School. I graduated in 2025. I'm majoring in political science. one thing about college I'm looking forward to is the new environment. You know, the new people and everything. So yeah. Oh, all the studying. I'm not good at studying, but I have to do it, and I'm going to do it, but I'm scared about it. So, Lamaya said she wanted to go next.
My name is Lamaya Williams. I went to Brenham High School. I graduated in 2024. I'm majoring in exercise and sports science. I'm looking forward to finding new friends and like groups on campus. And one thing I'm nervous about is like the work overload. Yeah. No, ma'am.
Hi, my name is Cambria. I graduated Brenham High School in 2024, and I go to Prairie View now. I'm about to be a sophomore. Period. My major is education, and one thing I'm excited about is to see my friends again, and then one thing I'm nervous about is just commuting, I guess.
Hello, my name is Natalia Johnson. My friends call me Natty. I went to Brenham High School, graduated 2024, and I'm going to college to be an architect. So, and one thing I'm looking forward to is see my friends, and one thing I'm nervous about. I don't know. Meet my RA. I don't know.
Meeting your RA? Thank you, thank you. Okay, who's next? We're doing our intros. That was the first table, so everybody's still open. Sean, did you say you want to go next? Go ahead, Jonathan. No. I saw you reaching. I know, I saw you reaching. Go ahead. Yes, you turn on the bottom.
All right, my name is Jonathan. I graduated from Bridgeland High School last year, 2024. I go to UT Austin. I'm a government pre-law major, and I'm looking forward to all the things I'm involved in next year, but then I'm also kind of nervous about having a little too much on my plate.
My name is Josh. I go to Bridgeland High School. I graduate in 2027. I want to major in music, and I guess I'm looking forward to friends and nervous about, well, I'm not nervous about anything.
And then we also have Kai and Samara at that table. Okay, who's next? Y'all don't have to introduce yourself yet.
Hi, my name is Tanaya Wills. I went to Brenham High School and I graduated in 2024. My major is exercise and sports science. I want to be an athletic trainer. And one thing that I'm excited about is just being back with my friends. And then one thing I'm nervous about is having a lot on my plate.
My name is Tatiana Mills. I graduated from Rice High School in 2024. My major, I want to be a radiation therapist. And I'm looking forward to going back and see my friends. And I'm nervous about maybe like rent and stuff. Like I want to be on top of rent, like every month stuff.
Hello, my name is Jada Wright. I graduated from Burnham High School in 2024. I major in psychology. I'm going into my sophomore year at Sam Houston University. I'm looking forward to all the activities I'm involved in, and I'm nervous about being overwhelmed or getting overwhelmed.
Hello, my name is Sean Ray. I graduated from Brenham High School. I graduated in 2023. I major in business, and one thing I'm looking forward to is just getting used to a new area. And one thing I'm nervous about is definitely rent and, paying for other things. So, yeah.
Okay. We have you back here. Is there a mic by you? Okay. Thank you. It's at the bottom. Sorry.
Hello, I'm Brandon Gibson. I graduated from Brenham High School in 2021. I currently attend Texas State. I'm a senior this year. So one thing I'm excited about is just getting back on campus. And then one thing I'm always nervous about going back every year is just balancing school life with, regular life. So I'm looking forward to learning, though, and, getting everything going. I'm a computer science major, and I also do business minor. And I currently own a business, so that's kind of like where I'm at as far as schooling. But yeah, I just want to get the most out of it.
That's wonderful. Thank you. And then we have Bria, who is here, and she'll come back in a minute. So thank you, guys. I am hearing some themes of like the idea of balancing everything. So we'll talk about that a little today. And thank you all for sharing. And I'm not gonna make her. Okay, so we're a little behind, but let's go into it. I'm gonna try to make up some time in a moment. Our first speaker today, let's see if I have it on here, who's gonna give us some college prep tips. Mr. Michael A. Smith is a graduate of Prairie View A&M University. He received an associate's degree from Blinn in 1987. Mr. Smith transferred to Prairie View A&M University in 1989, and this is when his journey started. He graduated in 1992 with his bachelor's degree and continued his education at Prairie View with 2 master's degrees, one in sociology and one in social work, and the other in primary education. He accepted his first job in the Houston Independent School District in 1999, and Mr. Smith has taught pre-K, kindergarten, and first grade. His plans for the future include completing his doctoral degree in juvenile justice and psychology, and he hopes to one day work in administration. I introduce to you one of Prairie View's A&M's finest graduates, Mr. Michael Smith.
Hello, everyone. I am truly happy to be here to pass on knowledge and information to the students, to be college students and college bound. And I just want to go over a few things with you now. As your freshman year, now most of you guys are already in college or finished the semester almost a year. I mean, that's good. I'm really happy for you, and that's really good. Okay, to be, for your freshman year, I got some things here, tips for success for a freshman year. You have to be ready before your classes start. Be prepared and be prepared to be treated like an adult. It's not high school anymore. You're not gonna be treated, you're gonna be treated as an adult, but you have to give respect in order to get respect. College is a whole new game. It's a whole new thing. It's a whole new baseball game. So, what you did in high school, don't expect to do in college, because it's time for responsibility and growing up. And some other things I got out of my studies that in order to be successful in your freshman year, you got to make a plan and communication with your parent and guardians. Read as much as possible. And let me give you an example on that. I mean, it's okay to read, but when I was at Blinn before I graduated, I learned the hard way, because I started taking classes that requires a lot of reading. Don't do that. I mean, if you take all those classes in one semester, you're gonna have a whole lot of classes to catch up with reading. So just kind of divide them up and kind of spread them out a little. And I have some other things I want to talk to you about in being successful your freshman year. And I say your freshman year, and some of you guys already know, you're probably in your sophomore year, your second semester. Stay connected through your school email and student portal. You have to also polish your people skills. I mean, you're going to college. You want to know how to talk and communicate. Communication is very important, even if you're not in college. It's very important. And make a plan for managing your money, and that's very important, because when I started Prairie View, I got a card from Neiman Marcus, and I went and just blew the card. I just overspend. So be mindful when you have money and you have to save your money in order to finish college and go through college. And another thing, wait getting a job on your freshman year. I mean, hey, you don't have to, just because you're a freshman don't mean that you have to work. I mean, you know, you might think in your mind, I got to work, I got to do this and that, but there are other ways to do it. And so just think about, I guess, not getting a job in your freshman year. Keep in touch with the financial aid department, please. Please do that. That's a runaround I had at Prairie View. They gave me a runaround with financial aid. If you don't take care of your business before you go, you're going to have many problems. And I'm being honest with you because I've seen students get right up in financial aid. And with Prairie View, I'm just going to be honest. I'm going to say it like it is. It can be a little ghetto sometimes. If you don't take care of your business, the way you talk to them, that's the way they're going to talk to you. Somebody have to be the better person. You know, you have to be professional in your communication and stuff. And refresh yourself on difficult concepts from high school. I know you're used to things the way they used to be in high school, but like I said earlier, it's college now and everything changes. So you got to be ready to go with the push. And know how to stay safe on campus. Young ladies, I will say to you too, like I did last year, do not walk to campus late at night by yourself. If you decide you want to do that, at least have a friend girl, 2 or 3 people to walk with you. Because what happened at Prairie View when I was going to school, I'm just going to tell you it's not happening now. And the guy that did what he did wasn't even a student at Prairie View. He was a student. He's not a student at all. He was a person from Hempstead, Texas. This young lady was walking the campus, and it was dark. It was kind of dark in the area. No, not too many lights. And he grabbed her and he tried to rape her. That's why you have to be very careful on campuses. I mean, especially at night. You have to be careful at day too, but at night, you know, just stay vigilant. And another thing is prepare how to deal with social pressure around alcohol and drugs. You're going to see a lot of that in college. Just because in college don't mean that they don't do drugs. They do drugs. I was a dorm director at Prairie View A&M University for 9 years, and I've seen them take beer through the room 106. I know my dorm. I know my dorms from every window. I back in my car and I sat at an angle, and I watched some guys in room 106. They just had an assembly line passing beer. And with me being the director of the dorm, the manager of the dorm, I got the master key. I went and knocked on the door with no disrespect. Dorm director coming in, open the door. I took the key and opened the door, and I said, can I look in your closet? And I know it was kind of like, it may be a little issue, a privacy issue, but you have handbooks tell you the yays and the nays on campus. You cannot have drugs and alcohol on campus. It's a no-no. And if you get caught, you're going to jail. So I went in, and I had people that work under me working on their masters. I already had got mine, and I had them to go in with me. I said, take all that beer out. They had beer packed up like this, and then they had another guy, he was an RA, a residential assistant for me, working underground. He's working on the table with them, dirty. I'm sitting here like, come on now, I hired you, and you do this to me? So I fired him. Because he told me, that I asked him, I say, are you smoking or are you selling drugs at your room? So what showed him up, he had some students on the dorm that got mad with him because he wouldn't do what he wanted them to do. So to make a long story short, I just, I called him to the office and asked him, I said, is this true from what I'm hearing? He said, no, it's not true, Mr. Smith. So he went to class that day. I called the police, and I had him to enter his closet. He had what you call them boxes? See, that goes to show you I don't smoke or do drugs. He had those little boxes, cigar boxes full of marijuana joints and stuff. He was selling them in the dorm, and he was selling them, on the floor and to students. So that's not good. If you're going for that, like I say about Prairie View, if you're going to any school to do that, you're wasting your time. Stay out of the school because it's not happening. And another thing I have down here, prepare how to deal with social pressure and around alcohol and drugs. I just went over that one, yeah. Make the most of orientation activities. Go to your orientation activities. Before you get ready to start the school, it's important to go there, because if you don't, I mean, hey, they might put you in a room with somebody that's smoking weed. I mean, you don't want to be in the room with nobody that's smoking weed and doing drugs, because you're trying to concentrate. My little nephew went to Kentucky State, Jamari Abuka, but Jamari Kelly. He went to Kentucky State, I think last semester, and he called me and said, Uncle Mike, I want to come home. I say, why? What's going on? And he said, this guy want me to go to the party and want me to smoke weed, and I don't want to do that. Peer pressure. You don't want to do that. You don't want nobody to have you do anything you don't want to do. Don't let them do that to you. Okay, the next one I have here is research ways to get involved. On your campus, there are different organizations that you can join, like for females, Delta Sigma Theta, and all those sororities. And for the guys, you got Alpha Phi Alpha, Alpha Phi Omega, and stuff like that. And the next thing I have here, know where to go and find academic help. Do not be afraid to ask for help. If you don't ask for help, you won't know. I mean, you have to ask somebody. If you don't understand something, you have to ask somebody. With a master's, 2 master's degrees, it's things that I didn't understand. But the thing is, you have to ask somebody. And so those are some of the things I have for your freshman year. And I have a few pieces of advice, I say, for my college-bound students. Embrace failure. It's not gonna always be pretty. You're going to have some ups and downs in college, just like everything else. You might not make a grade like you really, really want to make, and it's like you kind of worry about it, but just accept it as it is and just do better next time, you know? That's all I can say, accept it as it is and do better, because it hurts sometimes. For me, if I make a B, I'm mad. I had all A's at Prairie View, never made a B. And I was angry because the professor tried to give me a B, and I know I deserved an A. And I went to the president of the university on her because she was wrong. And I don't like B's. I don't like C's. I wanted all A's. Okay? Okay, and this is another thing I want to show you. I'm just following my notes here. This is a catalog here. For each major, when you go to college, you're going to have a catalog. And you're going to follow every class that you, like say for instance you majoring in biology, you're going to follow every class in this catalog from your freshman year to your senior year. The only way you can substitute a different class is that it's not offered and you go to your advisor. I had to do that, and that was really hard for me. That's why I say I understand that you got to accept change sometimes, because sometimes things don't always go like you want to. I didn't major in nursing. But with me being a fashion designer and majoring in fashion consulting, they wasn't offering the general chemistry, so guess what? I had to take nurses chemistry, and that was hard. That was way out of my realm, but I made an A, but it was way out of my realm, so be prepared for distractions and stuff, because it's going to happen. So if you follow everything in this book, you'll be all right. And don't be like some of the guys that both graduated with me with a master's and they came by. I guess you're kind of familiar with this. I know you are. They came by, and I was finna walk in with a guy with a ready to walk in for graduation, and they pulled him. Can I speak to you? They pulled him to the side, and I heard him just as big. You won't be graduating. You're 2 credits behind. Okay. I felt sorry for that young man because he had invited his parent. He had given out invitations to graduation, and somebody dropped the ball. They didn't take care of their business. And so I'm going to go ahead and move on because I only have a little time here. Time management tips to be successful in college. Make an effective time schedule. College is busy. So you're gonna have to divide some stuff up. Say, I'm gonna do this today. I'm gonna do this. And you're going to have to do that because it's going to show in your work if you don't do it. And get to class on time, because I had a professor at Prairie View. If I was the first one in class every day, I was never late. Because if you're late to your class at Prairie View, professors has a right, and other students, they have a right to lock that door and you cannot get in. You've missed the important information. You've missed the important notes, lecture. You missed the lecture. and everything because you late. Be on time to class. And another thing is minimize distractions. You're going to have a whole bunch of distractions. You're going to have things going on campus that you're going to like, oh, my God, I want to go to this, I want to go to that, but you got to make a decision. You can't go. Either you go or you come back and fail the test and pay the consequences later. Get plenty of rest. Don't procrastinate. That's a problem with a lot of students now. They procrastinate. Oh, I'll do it later. No, do it now. Or either do half of it now, so when you start on it, you won't have a whole bunch to catch up with. Do not procrastinate. That's not good at all. That calls for failure and everything. I'm telling you what I know because I had friends working on a master's degree, 2 master's degrees at one time in 1 year. And I had students in the classroom just like a duck, going 9 to 5, working 9 to 5, and they're going to come and want to cheat off of my paper. No, you went to the party last night. You're not cheating off of my paper. I let one person look at my paper to see what's really going on, so they can understand what's really going on with the test. You know, she wrote my name on her test. I was like, oh, no, I said, I'm sorry, I try to help you, but I see that you're not doing this right. And we both get kicked out for university dishonest. You cannot do that. Do your work, do your own work, and just take care of your business. I mean, see, they want to go out and party, but they don't want to come back in and get the. And these are adults. I mean, people that work 9 to 5, and I worked in the dormitory 9 to 5, and I went to school for my master's degree 5:30 that evening to 8:30. And mind you, I'm still running the dorm with 1,500 to 1,800 students in it. That was hard, but I thank God that He saw me through all of that. During Christmas time, and it's hard to deal with students like that because they're from all over the place. Thanksgiving, they were mad at me because I had took the beer out the room. Thanksgiving, I went outside. They had scratched my car up from the rooter to the tutor, from the light to the tail end. And then Christmas, I got it even worse. They flattened out 4 of my tires. When I got ready to go home, I had to call a tire place and get new tires. So I'm saying you got haters. You got haters in college. Don't think just because you're going to college it's going to be okay. You're going to have some haters. And number 6 is prioritize. You got to prioritize your studies and stuff. Things that are not important, don't worry about them. I mean, that's what I said just a while ago. Things that, and stay organized. That's the most important thing. Stay organized with your work. Because you cannot, if you throw those professors any kind of work, they're going to throw you any kind of F. They're going to throw you a bad grade. And I'm just keeping it real with you. Because I didn't have to go through none of that. I can talk about it. I could walk that campus of Prairie View with my head up in the air because I took care of my business. I took care of my business. Another thing, learn to say no. Example, if your friends ask you to say, I want to go, are you going to the game? No. I got a test, and I got to do some work for the classroom. I'm not going. You know, just learn to say no, and don't feel bad about it. Because that's life. Because if you go to the party and you come back, you're going to do the same thing that young lady did with me, with my paper. You can't go to the game, you can't go to the party, and everybody call Prairie View a party. Prairie View and any college is what you make it. It's not all about party college, it's what you make it. When I went to Prairie View, I went straight through Prairie View. I went to fall semester, I went summer 1, went summer 2, and I went back again. I went straight through Prairie View nonstop. I finished a year early, and that's called getting your work done. Do one thing at a time. Don't try to rush and say, I got to do this, I got to go this done, get this done. You cannot. You're not Superman, you're not Superwoman. You cannot get all this stuff done at one time. Remember, you're in college, and the teachers are going to be looking at all this stuff. And another thing, take time off from studying from the classwork. It's all right to study, but take some time off to kind of relax your mind, to kind of take a walk or something, or do something like that. Okay? And study tips to be successful, focus on developing strong study habits. If you have a strong study habit of saying, I have to go study here, and at this time, this is what I'm going to do it. Follow your first mind. I remember at Prairie View, I used at Hobart Taylor. You probably remember, don't you? I took a pillow and I took blankets. Because when I go to study, I find a very conducive place or an environment to study. You got to find a place that's quiet and it's going to be just right for you to study. And when you find that type of place, you can really, really study. And I had a group of people to come rolling in there when I'm trying to study and concentrate. And when they rolled in, I rolled right out and found another study place. Because, I mean, you have to be serious about it. You're not going to college to just, I'm going to here to get a name, because get a name, say I'm at Prairie View or whatever university you're at. You have to prove yourself to do, to do the right thing and have morals and values. You take those from home. You take them everywhere you go. You take them to college. And like I said, you just have respect for yourself and other people too. Let me see, and it say use, okay, and another thing, it say use your own notes. I would say use your own notes because it's very hard if you use somebody else's notes. So you might not know exactly what they're talking about. So you want to use your own notes so you can go right to it, whether you do shorthand or whether they not do shorthand or whatever the case is, use your own notes. I know I study a lot better by my notes. And I have 5 goals here too that you also have to keep in mind. You have to have goals. Long-term goals, short-term goals, right now goals. If you don't have any goals, you never know where you're going. If you don't have no goals set, you'll never know where you're going. So always set goals. Okay, and the reason I have the grades that I have, I brought this to show you guys because all your classes, make sure you write your classes down. You write the name of the class and the credits and the grades. One girl asked me at Blinn a year ago, "Are those your real grades?" I was like, "What do you mean? I work hard and I work smart for these grades, and you're gonna ask me a question like that?" And so the students told her in the classroom, "Why are you asking that? Sit down and be quiet, It didn't bother me because, hey, I'm doing a presentation for you and you taking development of reading. I'm trying to help you read. I'm trying to help you understand what you're reading and why you're reading it. But she's trying to give me a hard time to say that I'm whatever. But these are all of my grades for my 2 master's degrees. And like I said, I don't like B's. I don't have one. I do not like B's, period. I get mad if a B come around. And so it's like, I mean, if you take care of your business, with all this stuff I just read to you, if you take care of your business, you can do the same thing. And some of you guys are probably already making 4.0. Jonathan and other ones. I know, some of you guys are already making 4.0. And I'm telling you, this is not an easy thing. You have to work and work and work really hard to keep your grades up. Because guess what? If you don't keep your grades up and you want a scholarship or you want to try to find financial aid, you won't qualify for it because your grade point average is not high enough. My mom and dad did not have to pay not one red penny for me for education because I earned 4.0 or 392 grade point average every semester. They didn't have to pay not one penny, and I thank God for that. So with what I just read to you about all the rules and the study tips, these are the things that's going to help you get the good grades and the grades that you want. And number 7, I always have to say this. I always put it in my presentation. Please stay away from still people. S-T-I-L-L. Still broke, still complaining, still hating, still messy, still procrastinating, and nowhere. These are the type of people who will get you nowhere. I mean, you have to know who you are when you're in college or anywhere else. So stay away from these type of people because they don't want to learn. They don't want you to learn. They want you to fall right in the boat with them. So even with study groups, if you get in study groups, get in a study group with somebody that want to learn. Get in the study group with somebody that's going to put their fair share of time in the study group. Don't let them throw all the work on you, and then when they get the group grade, you end up getting a 80-something, and they end up getting a 95, and they didn't do nothing. Come on, y'all. Use your head on that. you'll know that type of person when they're not the type of person to be around. I'm not trying to put anybody down. When I was going to Prairie View, a lot of people called me a nerd. They called me stuck up. I took care of my business. You can call me all that, but I got the papers. You can call me all that, but I got the papers to prove it. 4 college degrees, 1 from Blinn and 3 from Prairie View. And I'm in the process of getting paperwork going so I can start on my doctorate at Prairie View, educational leadership. I'm planning on trying to get that done too. So, like I say, just stay away from people that don't mean you any good. So, in closing, I want to conclude. I have my blueprint of achievement. My blueprint of achievement is always winner versus loser. The loser always has an excuse. The winner says, "Let me do it for you." The loser says, "That's not my job." The winner sees an answer for every problem, for every answer. And also, the winner says, "It may be difficult, but it is possible." Nothing is impossible. Put your mind to it. Stay focused. Never give up, and you'll do well. You'll do well in college. I've done presentation after presentations to young ladies. Karen McLean and all these other young ladies graduated from high school, and they went on to Prairie View and got on a dean's list, and and I'm happy for them because I was like, look, they already smart. One of them, Cameron graduate. She's gonna graduate in December in nursing. She's going back to get her RN. So I just want y'all to know, when you put your mind to something, stay the course. Don't let nobody tell you that you're not worth it. You're the one going to do it. So you do it. And if they don't do it, they're the ones sitting back looking, out of line and out of order. So take care of your business. That's all I tell you. When you go to college, make sure you do whatever you're supposed to do and do the right things, because there are a lot of distractions. There are a lot of people that's going to want you to do this and that. And, hey, I love Prairie View Marching Band. There's a lot of times I wanted to go. I think one time I went and I had to, for practice, I had to hit the ground because Texas Southern drove through on the truck and started shooting and stuff. And don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's a bad college, but it's just that we're rival schools. Prairie View and Texas Southern, we never see eyes together. So that don't still give them a reason to do what they did. And in the closing of my presentation, I want to tell you all, always strive to the top. That's what I do. I always strive to the top. You know why? Because it is too crowded at the bottom. That means that not too many people want to be on the top. They don't want to do nothing positive. They want to do things negative. So if you just take the initiative when you go to college or whatever you do, and be respectful and do what you have to do in college and get out there and graduate. Fill out your application for graduation, because my little nephew, Tierson William, he's supposed to have graduated a little while back, but we got to go to graduation in Waco. August 16th, he graduated with his bachelor's degree, because the last time the advisor, check with your advisors, please. The advisor did not tell him that he needed to fill out an application for graduation. Yeah, you do. You have to fill out an application for graduation or you won't graduate. And so he went on back and finished a few more classes. I think he had 3 more. So we are already making in preparation to go up there for August the 16th. He graduated with his bachelor's, then he's gonna go and do a little intern with the John Seeley Hospital in Galveston or wherever. He's gonna be a baby doctor. And so I stay on him. I mean, I love my education. I mean, you're not gonna get by with me with that, because if it's something that I see you're not doing right, I'm gonna question you about it. And everybody in my family know if it ain't right, I'm coming to you and I'm asking you, what's the problem? So I thank you guys for being a great audience. I didn't want to be too long, but these are very important points and information that I want y'all to get a hold to. And I hope that this is something that you can carry with you when you start back to school or when you start to school your first semester or whatever. Take care of your business, because the people in college are not going to take care of the business for you. Thank you very much.
Okay, who can tell me one thing that Brother Smith said that you're going to take with you. Okay, I see you, Jay. I love that statement. That was good. That was good. Thank you. There you go. All right. So, Wanderer, I hope you all are taking those things. I want to tell you, in your bag is a notebook. You have a pen in there. So if you want to take some notes, feel free to use that. Also, I meant to tell you there is a restroom in the back, just in case you missed it, just right there by the door. If you have questions and you don't necessarily want to ask them out loud, there is a sticky notepad on your table. Write your question down. We can pick it up. We can ask your question to be sure that it's answered. If you have a question and you just want to raise your hand, feel free. We're here to answer questions for you, to give you the information you need, to talk about what we need to talk about, things like that. So we want your input, especially you about to be out of there. We want to know some of your experiences and things like that. So before we get started, our next one, I was going to see if I could get Kai and Samara to pick us a couple of tickets. Quickly. So get your tickets out. We're going to give some prizes away. And then we'll do some more in a second. Pick a ticket for me. Wait, don't take it with you. Okay, thank you, baby. All right, we're looking at 818, last three numbers. It's you? 818? Good. Okay, come pick you something. Okay, all right, one more. All right, and 816. Those are really close. I guess it makes sense. 816? Nobody had 816? Okay. One more, Kai. And there's some sets, there's some laundry stuff, there's some first aid kits, there's a disinfectant, there's some laundry baskets, there's some, what you call this, shampoo and conditioner. All right, 824. Oh, yay. Okay, come on up, Kim, get you something. Okay, so our next speaker, we're going to have, thank you all so much. I'll call you up in a second. Our next speaker is going to talk to us about some tips about our personal finance. We know not only do we have to pay for school, but as many of you mentioned, we are concerned about the bills that we have to pay, the things that we have to put together as far as balancing everything. And so Ms. Tasha Williams, who has been a banker for many years, worked in a bank for many years, is excellent with finances. And so welcome, Sister Tasha Williams.
Hello, how are y'all today? All right. Now we're going to get a chance to play a little game and you can eat your Skittles. So the Skittles are like your paycheck. You get this once a month. There's 15 of them in there, should be, if I can count right. If you have rent or you plan to have rent, maybe your second year of college, go ahead and eat 2. Josh, you didn't get any Skittles? Did you? Jonathan, did you get some? Okay. All right. Eat your 2. If you have rent, of course, you have utility bill to pay. Go ahead and eat another one. Eat your Skittles. With that, you also have household necessities. You have your toilet paper. You have all of that shampoo and conditioner that you need to buy. Eat another one. Who plans to have a car? Eat another one. With a vehicle comes insurance. Eat another one. All right. If you have tuition payments, go ahead and eat another one. For your vehicle, you're going to need gas, or you're going to have to supply your friend with gas money, right? So go ahead and eat another one. And who needs groceries? All right, eat another one. Tell me who likes to go to the movies. Eat another one. Who likes to go out, hang out with your friends? to go out. Most of the females are going to be like, I need an outfit, so I have to go shopping, right? So eat another one. And then eat 3 for Chick-fil-A. You should have like 1 or 2 left if you had everything on that. So that's $1 or $2 that you have for the rest of the month. And so I'm here to talk to you about smart financial moves that will help you succeed with your monthly checks or throughout your semester of college. So there's going to be 6 topics that I'm going to go over. There are going to be some things that I'll have you write down or some notes that you'll take, so be prepared for that. So first, we need to create a realistic budget by knowing where your money is coming from, whether it's financial aid, scholarships, work, parents giving you allowances, and you need to know where it goes. So you need a breakdown of your rent. You need a breakdown of your books, your food, your fun, etc. I suggest, the internet suggests a 50-40-30 rule. I suggest a 4-3-2-1 rule, which is 40% of your income needs to go to the necessities, your rent, your books, your important things. 30% goes to wants and desires. 20% needs to go into savings, and 10% needs to go where? Absolutely. Tithes, 10% to your tithes. Wants, which is where and then you would want to track your expenses. I'm a pen and paper type of person. I look at my statement every month. I write down all my bills. You know what bills you have, so you would write down all those, make sure you have enough money to cover it, which check you're going to pay it from. But they also have a lot of apps and budget worksheets and things like that you can use. Miss Tamisha actually turned me on to an app called Every Dollar, which is totally free. You do link it to your bank accounts and things like that, but it keeps track of your spending habits. It tells you how you can improve the things that you need to decrease your spending on. And so that one's a really good one. It's a David Ramsey created it, so if you've ever watched anything with his financial tips, things like that, it's a really good app. So I suggest that for sure. Number 2 is maximize your financial aid and minimize debt. And so to make sure with your financial aid, make sure you file your FAFSA early every year so you can make sure you get all of what they have to give you. Wait until the last minute, we'll give you less. And ensure that you receive all of those, including any scholarships that you had. I know a lot of students that receive scholarships from high school, things like that, but then they never reached out to those companies or those businesses, and so that money is just gone. They're not going to reach out to you to give it to you, so making sure to do that. And then know that scholarships and grants and things like that, you can continually apply for these. So it's not just for graduating high school, going into your first year. There's a website that I use called tuitionfundingsources.com, and that one is more like a lottery drawing. So you put your name in all these hats. You just keep a profile on there, and they'll continually, throughout all your school years, give you scholarships that you don't have to pay back and you don't have to write essays for. Tuitionfundingsources.com. Mm-hmm. You actually already have a profile, Trey, but I'll get it to you. Anybody else need it? Tuitionfundingsources.com. It's a organization that a lot of banks put money into, and so they have millions of dollars in there that they're just waiting for you to do the initial work to get that money out of it. And so it could go to books, it could go to your room and board, it can go. So it'll take a lot of money out away from you having to spend it or your parents having to spend it and get put towards that. Number 3 would be smart spending and savings. How many people here have a checking and savings account? Perfect. Tatiana, you don't have a checking and savings account? Or you was just... Okay. Thank you. I almost couldn't see. Make sure you're looking at your bank accounts to make sure that there's no monthly service fees that they're charging you. Some banks charge you for ordering one of those personalized debit cards. They charge you for getting a paper statement in the mail. And so all of those is money that you could save. You don't need those banks that are charging you fees like that. A lot of banks and credit unions have student supported bank accounts. So as long as you can show your student ID, things like that, you get a free bank account. So just make sure you're looking into that. A lot of the schools have credit unions that are on campus. And so those probably are best fit for where you are. They're probably not everywhere, so they're probably harder to reach when you're traveling, but they are there. So make sure you're utilizing that. Save that 20%, and when you can save more, save more. It's an easy transfer into your savings account. That would help you build an emergency fund, is what I would like to say. They suggest that you have an emergency fund at least 3 months of your bills, so that in case something were to happen, you're not like scrounging for pennies and things like that at that moment. And so definitely do that. If you have to have textbooks, buy used ones. Good used ones, but you don't need brand new ones. Utilizing student discounts. Many businesses honor student discounts, 10%, 15% off when you show your ID. Any little bit of money that you're saving will help. Cook at home. Even if you and a bunch of friends get together and everybody put in and you're cooking at home, will save a lot more money than going to Cheddar's and Chili's every other day. Consider part-time work. Part-time work. I know I don't see many freshmen, I think, in here, but when you do get there, or even a side hustle, right? So I'm good at doing eyelashes. Put your name out in your college area for getting that side money from people. And be thrifty. Don't just spend to spend. Find the best discounts, the best deals that you're getting for your money. I believe in couponing. It's really a good thing. And so you can get all your household essentials, things like that, for half the price most of the time. And so definitely look into that. Everywhere you shop has an app, right? Every one of those give you discounts and $5 off here and $5 off there. One week you get, HEB is a really good one. I get something free from there every week. Number 4 is build credit responsibly. So understand credit for starters. Credit cards can be useful, but remember that they are a loan and they do have to be repaid. Use it wisely. Pay off your credit card balance in full every month to avoid any interest rates or interest charges, and to build a good credit score. You will need that in the future. You absolutely will. Make all your payments on time. Keep your credit utilization low. They suggest that you stay below 30%. So you have a credit card that's $500. You only want to use $150 of that $500 every month. And then you pay that $150 all the way off. And then, of course, it's revolving, so that $150 gets put back into your $500, and you still have that $500 available at any moment, whether it's emergencies or you can just put your gas bill on there. You can buy your groceries with that. But look to making sure you can pay it off every month if you are going to utilize credit. And then be ready for credit cards. You don't have to get one right at 18. Everybody that you see, all the banks you go to, they will try to make you, start building your credit, start building your credit. But I think we know ourselves, some of us aren't strong enough at 18 to immediately get a credit card. Some of us are. And so make sure that we're diligent enough, or we know, paying attention to where we are in order before you get that. And then, of course, you want to make sure you explore options. Don't just sign up for any credit card and any loan. A lot of credit cards and loans will take you under and hurt your credit score. A lot of credit cards have annual fees to them, but a lot of them are free. And that annual fee actually goes up per year. And so your $500 in January is going to turn to $300 because the credit card company took that $200 away, and you have to pay that back. And so make sure you're looking for those annual fees on those credit cards. There's many of them that don't have any, so try to go with that option. Or secured credit cards are really good as well, especially for you that are starting to build your credit. A secured credit card is a credit card that you put your own money into. So say you want it to be $500. You would put $500 into this credit card, which is easier for you to get approved for because it's your own money. But then it also builds that care to make sure that you're taking care of it, because that's your money that you worked hard for, right? And still use it, just like I said, the 30% every month. And it will drastically help and build your credit for when you are going to buy your first new car or your first house, things like that. You will benefit from that drastically. The next one, 5, I would go for protect yourself financially. Every bank that you have will have an online banking to it. A lot of people target students, make this quick $100, make this quick $1,000, kind of thing. Just give me your username and password, and I'm going to deposit a check into your account for you. Don't do that. You're the only one that needs to know your username and your password to your online banking at all times. I love online banking. I do, stand by it. I think we all should have it, but just keep it to yourself. And then be aware of all the scams. There's so many of them out here everywhere you look. Online jobs are really big right now with a lot of scams. Somebody just asked me the other day to give them my username and password so they could deposit a mobile check into my account so that I could go and buy some Apple cards for somebody or something. But I've seen so much of that in the bank that I knew at that moment that it was just a big scam. But just really, if it's a company that you're looking at or something for online work, go to their actual website, look, make sure they're hiring for that position, make sure it feels right for you. And then just second guess all the time when doing that with the scams. And number 6, plan for the future. So set financial goals, whether it's saving for a trip, paying off loans. Goals will make your financial decisions more meaningful. And so make sure you actually have a plan before you go into it and just constantly spend. When you're ready, it's very important to start investing. Things like Roth IRAs, deposit little money in there. This is money that you can't touch, but it continually builds income, things like that. And when you're older, that'll be a part of your retirement plan. It's long-term wealth is what you'll be building, which we all need. And then lastly, build financial literacy. Again, read books, watch business news, learn about different financial concepts that are out there. By implementing these financial tips, you can effectively manage your money, avoid unnecessary debt, and build a strong financial foundation for your future. Does anybody have any questions? Yes, sir. Absolutely. And even couponing. I can even teach you how to do that. All this stuff right here, I actually donated, just to give you an idea. I probably spent out of pocket $5 for this. And the laundry detergent, things like that. And so it is really a good thing. It's not like, you're broke, you're couponing kind of thing, but it's very beneficial. My phone number, if you do want it, is 979. Oh, well, maybe they want it too. Okay. I'll give it to you if you need it, okay? Thank you so much. Yeah. The wants and the needs. Yeah. So, yeah, definitely. That's actually what I wrote down. But so yeah. So switch those two when you wrote it down. Of course, your savings needs to be more than your wants, right? Your money that you're going to spend on Chick-fil-A this month, things like that. You would definitely want your savings to be more. So, any other questions? Thank you. All right. Again, who can tell me something they will take with them? Oh, Kim is ready.
Secured credit cards are a good card to have because it's your own money.
Very good. You are free to get something from the pile over here. Anybody else? Both of you guys can go. Go ahead, Jim.
I was gonna say the tuition funding sources.com. I'll definitely be using that.
Yeah, that was a good idea. Get you something from here.
Utilize my student discount. I don't really tell people I'm a student or show my ID, and I feel like that would be more beneficial.
Absolutely. $1 off at the movies, $1 off at, you never know. Wonderful. So I hope that you all are getting these things and taking them with you. Again, if you have questions you don't want to ask, put them on the sticky. We'll get those up here. We are going to have our student panel. I'm very excited about that because you all will be able to get some real, ask some questions. We're going to quickly go into, everybody stand up real quick. Stretch, do you one of these, stretch out here, pick a leg up, walk around, get you some pizza if you want some cookies, they're still over there. We have butter cookies, chocolate chip, get you a little one. Then come on back. We have Sister Lisa Williams coming up to talk to us about being self-prepared for college.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. I made a lot of stupid mistakes. I made a lot of stupid mistakes when I first went to college and or starting college. And one of the mistakes I made, two I can think of, Brother Smith is absolutely right. I do not like anything other than an A. I don't like it. I never have. I like my mama didn't like it. But and then they took. I guess you have to be right. But y'all can hear me. So I made a lot of mistakes. One mistake I made was that I did not go for the money. When I was in school, and I tell people this is probably a terrible thing to say. This is probably a terrible thing to say. But if I had it to nursing. And I got my LVN, and I should have kept going because I really wanted to be a doctor. And I kept going, then I did some family stuff and all the other kind of stuff, but that shouldn't have stopped me. Nothing should be able to stop you because I had a family. I had a husband and 3 children, and I had a full-time job, and I went to school almost full-time. And I went to church full-time. So nothing should be able to stop you. So excuses, Brother Michael, excuses mean absolutely nothing to me. There's no excuse you can give me that would hold water, because you can do it. But anyway, I would have gone for the money. I would have gone straight through. Don't tell yourself, I'm going to take a break. You know how some people are doing that now? Before they go into college, what do they call it? A gap year. What in the world is a gap year? That's like time out. No, we don't do it. Don't listen. You're young, do it. Go on and do it. Gap for what? What you going to do with it? Go to school. This time goes by so fast, and as my son was telling me, that it's time. It's going to be there. It's going to keep on going whether you do anything with it or not. Go on to school. Get the education. Work your little tushy off while you are young and you can. Then once you start getting older and tired, then come back and do that passion. Because you know your passion could be wrapped up in whatever this money-making thing is too. Then come back and do that. So my passion has always been to teach. But I was going to nursing and all that. I thought I liked all of that stuff too. But I could have made some big money. And then I could have come back later on like I wanted to and taught a nursing program or taught some other kind of thing, because, you know, that's what I really like to do is teach. So if you can, if that works for you, go after the money. That sounds bad, doesn't it? But go after the money. Put that money up. Don't spend it. It's some silly things. I never did this because I couldn't do this. But folk are waiting for that little return check and going out and buying cars and everything. A financial person, she could tell you about that. Going out, that's dumb. Because, you know, that money is not going to last forever. Then you're going to have to get a job. So anyway, don't do all that kind of stuff. So I teach at Blinn, and I teach sociology. I teach marriage and family. I teach social problems, and I teach a sociology class. And I am an alum of Prairie View also. Woohoo! Yeah, Prairie View. I like Prairie View. And I'm with him when he talk about the party schools. And then a second, because any school is a party school, all of them. All of them are party schools. My daughter went to school in Oklahoma, and she said she went to a party almost every day of the week. But, you know, she's still a doctor. She came out of there. We didn't know it because we'd have whooped her. No, anyway. But no, so any school can be a party school. Don't take that route. So another dumb thing I did was I took a class with a friend. We decided we're going to take this class together. And this might not always happen. But I took a class. That's the first in college, the first D I have ever made. I was devastated. I had never seen a D in my life. I was devastated because we did so much. We were supposed to be studying, and we did playing and all that kind of stuff. And instead of me bringing her up, she was bringing me down. And I ended up making a D in that class. I said, never again. I think I didn't even talk to her for about a year. No, but it was my fault. But, you know, and I said, never again. I'm not taking this chance again. So I never went to classes with a buddy before. And if I did take classes with a buddy, we were just in the same class. That's it. We didn't study together. None of that stuff. No, my grade is too important. But I did bring my GPA back up. By the time I graduated from Prairie View, I had a 4.0. And so it can be done, and you can do it. So I made A's after that. No more of this stuff. You know, that D devastated me. I mean, so over here at Blinn, I can pretty much tell you the second day of class who are my students are going to be that are my good students, and who are going to pass, and who are going to be the airheads, okay? I can pretty much tell you that. The way I can tell you that is the person that walks in class with pen, pencil, paper, highlighter, book, all of that, and I know books online, then we're going to talk about learning styles. The person that walks in with that kind of stuff, and I see them, you know, every time I'm talking, they writing. I know this person is getting ready. This is going to be an A student. This person going to pass this class with flying colors. When I see this person walk in with a coat on and no shirt, They finna fail. They gonna fail right now. I can tell you right now, they gonna fail. When I see this young lady walk in class with all her midriff out and all of this other kind of stuff, and she got a phone and she doing all of this kind of stuff, and she finna fail. She gonna fail. Yeah, you know it, right? They finna fail because they're not college minded. They're not thinking about school. When you walk into that class, and the teacher gonna have a whole lot of respect for you, walk into that class, and I know there's online books, and you gotta know yourself. To thyself be true. Come in there, even if you don't have a book, if it's an electronic book, bring paper, pencil, highlighter, color pens, whatever it is, and take some notes. When professors and instructors look out and they see that you are actively participating and taking notes, they already in their mind, they're putting check marks. They're giving you some kudos right now. Oh, this person is about business. And every time they start talking and they looking at you and that kind of stuff, they're not trying to pick on you or anything. What they're saying is this person is, these grades mean something to them. But when we see these other people and I tell them when they come in the door, put your phone away. I've stopped class. I know these are adults. Like you said, these are adults, but sometimes we got to treat them like kids. Put your phones away. Do not bring your phone to my class. Don't do it. All right? Because, see, I would let you bring your phone if I knew that you were going to get on there and bring up your syllabus or you were going to bring up the book or whatever. But most of the time, you're not. I even have folk that have the nerve to pull out a laptop and watch a movie while I even have somebody to sit right in front of me and do somebody else's work. And I don't think I'm boring. I really don't. Had the nerve to do somebody's biology work while they're in class with me. I almost threw a chair. And I had to be, I'm getting old, so I need to get out of the school system right now because I might do some crazy stuff. But I will say some stuff. And a girl asked me at the end of this last semester, come on, y'all, we got to turn this thing around. She asked me at the end of the last semester, are you going to give a study guide for the final? I don't cuss. But I wanted to say some choice words. I wanted to say, what the heck you think I've been doing all semester? This is your study guide. All them notes you got in that book, that's your study guide. All the tests that you have taken up until now, that's your study guide. Go back and get it. I even told them, I said, bring your past Scantrons. I'm going to give you back the exams because I don't let them take exams home because, now they got all that stuff where they put all the exams because I don't want to make them over every year all the time. And so bring your Scantrons. I'm going to give you the test back. And so we're going to go back, test. I'm going to let you look at the ones you got wrong. We'll go to that question, and then you can ask some questions and see what you got wrong. And right after that, that woman had the nerve to ask me, is there a study guide? I could have said some stuff and threw some stuff, but it made me upset. I think I was upset to the rest of the semester, and because I'm like, what do you mean? I've been doing all of this, and so you need to be prepared. I'm telling you, the professors are looking at that kind of stuff. They're looking at that. This is school. This is all about this grade. Like Brother Michael said, get the paper. Do all the rest of that stuff later on somewhere else. Get the paper. They're talking to me, coming to class talking about this is the age of experimentation. The devil is a lie. We're not experimenting on nothing except how you can get an A. That's what your experiment is, how to get an A in this class. You're not experimenting with nothing else. I don't care nothing about boyfriends, girlfriends. I don't care, your cat, your dog. Somebody couldn't come to class because their friend's cat died. If you don't get off my phone right now, listen here. This is a job. One professor got a call from the student and say, hey, dude, I can't come to class. If you text me and you call me, hey, dude, listen, this is a job, and you have to take this seriously. My helpers are gone. I especially want freshmen and your first year high school and first, some of those that have been in college already, you might not need this if I have enough, but if I don't, if I run out, then you guys share that with something else. But I'm gonna give you some tips. And here, Kai and Samar, come here. Did I give you two? Oh, okay. Okay. One of each, and then you guys pass out a card to everybody. So, and I'll make this quick because I know Sister Carmen is coming in the panel. You have to know your learning style. Tell me your name again? Brandon. Have you discovered what your learning style is? You have discovered your learning style. Could you share with us what your learning style is?
As far as like
studying and stuff.
Process the information I learned in class. Yes, ma'am. So how I usually go about it is when my first 2 years, like sophomore.
Okay, no, I don't want to know how you study. I want to know your learning style. So are you not sure? And it's okay, not sure. Okay, all right. Jonathan, do you know your learning style?
Learning style. So I'm confused at the question. So not how we study.
Okay. How you learn?
I learn the best by reading and memorizing.
Okay, reading and memorize. Okay, so your learning style. Okay, and that's how we study. Okay, you know your learning style. Okay, so you're a visual learner. So you have to see it. Seeing it makes a difference. So what should she be doing? And what else should she be doing? What else should she be doing? Writing it down, because she's visual. She's going to help to see it. For my visual learners, what I tell them to do is use highlights. Use color, underline, use different color pens for my visual learners. Because if you're visual, that's going to come back to your remembrance. Kim, what's your learning style? Okay, so what should she be doing? Kinesthetic. What should she be doing? Yeah, but what should you be? Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. She telling you what that means. Okay, yeah, hands-on. So what should she be doing? While she's learning, what should she be doing? Writing, taking notes, using examples, drawing pictures. Kinesthetic people, that's what they do. So if you find yourself in class and you're doodling and all that, but you can still hear what's going on, that's your learning style. Make sure you grab a hold to that and use it. See, he's kinesthetic. And see, I know that if in a class, as a teacher, I probably would want to throw something at him because he's throwing stuff in the air and he's moving stuff and rolling stuff, and that's probably part of his learning style. But he needs to sit in the back of the room because that would distract me. So you do that. So you might want to sit in the back of the room in your classes, but then not if you're not going to pay attention. You're not going to pay attention, sit in the front. If you're easily distracted, sit in the front. And so draw, write, but you got to know your learning style. If you find out that every time you go to study or something that you need to be consuming something, then that's a part of your learning style. If you need to eat, that's not my learning style because I don't want my paper messy. I don't want grease spots on it. I don't want crumbs. I don't want any of that kind of stuff. So that is not my learning style. Some people learn by having external stimuli. You need to listen to music or something else while you're. And you got to be careful with the kind of music you listen to, too. So what kind of music is it that you need to listen to? Is it soothing music? A lot of times when you're studying, rock music is not it. That real high-powered music, that's not it because it drains your energy level. So don't listen to that. If you listen to something, the best they said to listen to is like classical music, because it gets the left side of the brain, right, all of that stuff connected and working. So if you find out you need external stimuli, that's the kind of music that you need to listen to, okay? And so you have to know how you study best. So I give this to my students at the beginning of every semester, and I tell them, put this in your notebook right in the front. And I'm not going to go through those slides, Dr. Carmen, but look at this. And Mr. Smith he's told us some of this, so this is redundant and it's okay, and because we're going to go on. In your bag, you have a highlighter. Make sure that you have pens. Make sure that you have index cards. And I also gave you a piece of paper, and it's on, and I wanted us to do a little activity, but I'm not going to do that. You don't have time to do that, but you can practice when you get home. I always bought my books because I am visual, and so I write in my books. And so at the end of most books, there is a quiz. And I try to do all of my quizzes at the end of my book. And then I try to go back, I answer the question, then I go back, and then I try to write down the page number where I found the answer to that question, okay? On the side of my highlight and all of those kind of things, and I put check marks, I write annotations. Every chapter that you get to, every paragraph, you should put a little annotation on the side, what this chapter is about, what this paragraph is about. Why do you do that? This is what this is about. So thank you, I don't have no dollars. I don't have to go back and read this all over again because I already know what this is about because I put me a little, that's good. I put me a little annotation over there. So I don't need to go back and read that. So I don't know what stuff I don't need to be. Whenever, and somebody said it in here, whenever your teacher says, write this down, what does that mean? Because what? Because what? Because it's going to be on the test. That's the key word right there. It's going to be on the test. Whenever they're saying, when they spend a lot of time on that and they say, write this down, put a little check mark, put a star by it, this is going to be on the test. Okay, write this down, it's going to be on the test. All the bolded print, all the bolded words and things like that in the book, what does that mean? Those are important. Those are important things. And usually professors pick up on that and they're going to test you over it. So one of the ways you study, have your index cards with you. You can change the color. Maybe chapter 1 is blue, chapter 2 is green, chapter 3 is pink, whatever. So that you will have a record of what this is. See, this might seem unimportant to you right now. But as high school and freshmen, you don't always know exactly what your learning style is and how you do this the best. So employ everything that you can until you learn, this is how I learn the best. Okay, you'll find out. You might start doing these flashcards and learn, this don't help me at all. And I know some of these programs, like we teach from Cengage. Cengage is a company. And so some of their programs, they have a built-in flashcards and things like that that you can study from. All the books don't. All the companies don't. So do it yourself. It's a girl came to class, and she must have had 600 flashcards. I said, I ain't mad at you. Go ahead on, girl. Go ahead on with all your flashcards. And that's good. One of the things, they said the Asians are outdoing us on everything, and it's true. They're outdoing us on all our tests. They're outdoing us, as far as grades are concerned. They're serious about this. Them and the Africans, they serious. One of the things that they say that the Asians do that nobody else does, people haven't really adopted that. We do it on a small scale, but not on a big scale. The reason why they're successful, they study together in groups. They get together, and they all have a goal. They all have a focus. We got to get this A. All right, we got to get this paper. When I get students from Africa, that's what they say. It costs my family a lot for me to get here and for me to be involved in education. So I got to get this. I got to send money back. I got to make these people proud, all those kind of things. So they're real serious about education. In America, we are spoiled, and we're not as serious about education. No matter what, and Mr. Smith said it, and he said it over and over again, forget about everything else. You got the rest of your life, God say the same, to do all of that stuff that you want to do. Forget about that. Make the sacrifice and study, okay? Get your work done. Who cares about a party? I was just looking at the news, and then I'm finished. I was looking at the news, and these two guys that just graduated, and you all may have seen, one's last name was Burns, and did anybody else see that article? And somebody else, they had just graduated from college. They had been through college together. They went to an event, went to a party or something. And leaving the party, I don't think they were drinking or anything, but somebody hit them, and they had no control over that. Hit them in a car and killed them both. They had been friends all through school and had graduated. They had on their Letterman's jacket and everything. Sad situation. And so we don't know. But you can right now start preparing for the future. Again, you have plenty of time to party and do all of those kind of things because, they don't stop having football games and stuff. Right now, if I want to go to a football game, I can go to Prairie View's football game. I can go to anything that they're having. It's not going to change. So you have time to do that. Study. And so when the panel comes, they're going to tell you some things. But really briefly, and you have a highlighter again in your bag. I gave you a flashcard because I was going to do an activity, but I'm not going to do that today. All right? The first thing you're going to do before you go to class, when you're looking at this book, when you go to chapter 1, you look at the objectives. What am I supposed to learn from this chapter? All right? And you just skim over it. Then, so you have an idea. So if the teacher asks you, okay, does somebody give me what you think such and such is about? And you're going to be able to raise your hand and say, oh, it's about so. And you don't want to because you don't want people to think you're a nerd or think that a teacher's pet or whatever the case is. Oh, get out of here with that. Yes, I do, because this teacher if they know that I'm really trying, see, I might have an 89 in the class, but they're going to give me an A. That's how I do it. So if you take my class, no, I'm kidding. But anyway, if I see that you've worked hard and you're trying and you're right there on the cusp, I'm gonna slide the scale a little bit. And professors do that. But they want to see that you are really trying. And I know you worked hard. You come and talk to me. You come to my office hours and stuff like that. Work hard. Do what you need to do. Get that A. Nothing else is more important. These 4 years, 6 years, 8 years going to go by so fast. But there's a difference between the airheads and those that are really, really going. Don't get with those people that are not going anywhere. Leave them alone. Those are the people that you eat with in the cafeteria, and then you don't see them no more during the week. During the day, okay. You go eat with them and say hi, and you go on to your class and do whatever. Don't spend a whole lot of time with them, all right? Because what they call them, those are not eagles. Those are what's them other things that stay on the ground? Them are crows. Those are crows. Don't mess with the crows. Store with the eagles, all right? So do those kind of things. So preview, and then they have the SQ5Rs, and I'm not going to do that. Attend class. Go to class. Go to class. That's what you're there for. And don't go to class in your pajamas and your bonnet. Please don't. I got a whole class full of girls in bonnets. That's another thing. I be wanting to cuss and I be wanting to throw stuff, but I can't do that. Why are you coming to my class in your pajamas and in your bonnet? You had time. That's just like brushing your teeth and washing your face. If you had time to do that, you had time to take that bonnet off and put on some real pants, even if you didn't get to shower, but you still could put on some real pants. But anyway, go to class, all right? Go to class and be attentive in class and take notes, okay? Then after class, review. So and last tip, if the teacher is saying something, the instructor, whoever's presenting, they're saying something, and you're taking notes, and you're actively taking notes, and they say something that you didn't quite get the definition, or you didn't quite get what it meant, write that word down, all right? But don't get stuck there. Don't start thumbing through your book trying to find that word that they just said. Don't get stuck there. Write it down, and then when you get home, where it talks about this review after class, you should study every one of your subjects at least 10 minutes before you go to bed. And those ones that are really difficult for you, study them 20 minutes, okay? But you review after class. Go back to that word that you didn't know what that meant. Now you search for it. Now you find it. Now you find a page where you find. Because when we throw words out there, it's not just that we're throwing words. Some of that stuff we're just, saying and using as example. But when we throw some words out there and spend a little time on it, that's because we want you to know what that is. So go ahead and review that. Find out what that is. So if you run across that again, you'll know exactly what that word means. You'll know where it is in the book, and you have an example. On my flashcards, I always write the word, spell it correctly, and I write the definition, and then I use an example. Okay, what does this mean? And one of the words I wrote, because it was on that page I gave you, morbidity. What does morbidity mean? Is it the same as mortality? What is morbidity? How do those go together? How does that go with this chapter? What is this chapter talking about? Why did they use this word? Why is this important for me to know what morbidity is? And so the incidence of disease. Oh, the incidence of disease. Okay, so morbidity. What would be a good example of an incident of disease in our common world today in the 21st century? What would be an example of morbidity? Huh? COVID. Absolutely. So now I can associate, and you can write that as your example, COVID. All right? So that's how you're going to review after class. Study, all right? And then figure out how you learn best. This is where learning styles come in. How do you learn best, okay? Do I need to eat? Do I need to listen to music? Do I need to? But one thing you don't want to do, have the TV on and all that other kind of stuff. And then all of these, when you intense study, after you do this all week and it's time for a test, set a goal, okay? What are we looking for? Set a goal. And then what is my focus going to be? Okay, my focus today for this 30 minutes is to go over and learn as many of these flashcards as I can, okay, many of these words as I can. That's what I'm doing today for 30 minutes. And then reward yourself, okay, take a break. Get up and take a break. Don't watch a movie. Don't get into a video game because those take you too long because you get into it and you don't want to lose and you keep going. Don't do that, all right? Don't talk to somebody that's going to make you mad. Don't go over your girlfriend or boyfriend's house because that's going to get you in trouble. All right, you might get up and walk around the block and come back. You might get up and go get a little snack and come back. Just stretch, go out, do one of them exercises, jump rope or do whatever it is. Then come back, all right, review what you've learned, and then that's it for this particular subject, okay? So take the reins on how you study and how you get this going. Be prepared for class. Instructors like to see that you are actively learning, that this is important to you. Because I can't, if it's not important to you, then hey, and you know, what am I struggling for? You don't care. Why am I, go to the professor at the end of school talking about what can I do to bring my grade up. God dog it, if you, how you can bring your grade up is to do your work in class. That's what you should have been doing this whole semester. This is what you should have been doing. Do you have any bonus? Yes. Open your book. This is a bonus. Listen to this. No. Do what you're supposed to do. Come to class. I ain't seen this child all year long, and they want to come to me and ask me, is there, can I still turn in work from day one? They want to turn in work. See, that's a cussing moment, but I don't cuss, all right? So, you know. So anyway, those are things not to do, okay? Don't do that. Don't ask your professors for extra credit and what can I do. If they have extra credit, it's already built in, okay? If there's bonuses, it's already built in. They'll give you that opportunity. You don't even have to ask. And they looking at what's going on in class, because sometimes when they see that everybody did bad on this test, they'll do something to, you know, so that everybody kind of can learn from it. So go to class, study your material, do what you're supposed to do. Don't think all this other stuff is important. Get the paper. I don't care, like Mr. Smith said, whether they call you a nerd, whatever they want to call you, who cares, all right? Because I'm going to be driving my Porsche while you are riding your bicycle, which is nothing wrong with you riding your bicycle, but you riding it because you don't have a choice, all right? But there's a difference, all right? You ride it because you could, but, you know, you trying to get some exercise, but, you know, maybe you're not because you're going back to your cardboard box under the bridge. Now, I'm not saying, I'm not making fun of that, but that's the difference between people really getting their work done and people that are not taking care of business. And things happen, and that's not always the case, okay? So, all right, thank you all so much. Any questions before I go? Any questions, anything? Again, as far from a professor's point of view. Be a professor at Texas State? Okay. Okay, I'll be there, both of them. Thank you. Any questions? And that was the other thing. You have all of this wealth of information around you. Use it. We're not scared of you coming and asking some questions, and you won't know unless you ask questions. Just because maybe you think this person didn't go to college, that doesn't mean they can't answer this question for you. So ask some questions. We're the village, all right? And so use your village and ask and do whatever. They may not have the academic prowess, maybe. They might have some money, all right? Listen, help me out here, okay? I don't have no money for the week to buy me no cup of noodles and all that kind of stuff, you know. I really could help. Because some people will come to you and say, what can we do to help you? What you need? I need a cup of noodles, all right? Or I need a box of them just to get through the week, all right? Don't be ashamed, all right? When they see that you really taking care of business, we'll help out. We'll help out. I'll buy you a pizza or two, you know. Or something like that, okay? So any other questions? All right, so Dr. Carmen wants us to go into our panel, I believe. And then there's some questions or there's some something that we're finna do. And while she's setting that up, because I don't know what to do, while she's setting that up, everybody is not as excited about teaching as I am, you know, because I do all kind of stuff in class. But that doesn't mean anything, all right? And if somebody tells you don't take them because they're hard, or don't take them because they're boring, or whatever the case is, don't listen. Because one person doesn't like that person, you might absolutely love that instructor. That might be your favorite instructor. But it doesn't matter because you're there to get the paper, all right? So go do what you have to do, and that's the bottom line, all right? Everybody's not going to be like me and everybody doesn't like this style. And so you just go to class, you know, like anything else. All through high school, did you take every teacher that you enjoyed? Did you like every teacher that you had? Maybe not, maybe so. So just do what you need to do. And you only either in class 8 weeks or 16 weeks. That's the best part about college. That's the best part. You get out of there quick. Them 8-week classes, they kind of, you know, hard, but I like getting out in 8 weeks. I want it to go by fast, you know. Okay? All right. Hey,
Thank you. Thank you so much. So funny. Thank you, Sister Williams. Jada, you could get you something from the table over here. And then can somebody tell me something that they learned that they're going to take with them in this particular, from that section? Ooh, sorry. And as we're preparing, let me get my panelists to come on up. You might have to bring your chair, too. I'll move this back up. Oh, I'm sorry, Natty. Yeah. Okay, thank you, Natty. Come on up. Yes. Make sure the professor can see you showing effort. That's very good. Thank you. Anybody else? Yes.
Learning your way of learning, like know how you should study, know what's going to help you in the future.
Yes, absolutely. Your learning style important. Yes, if you'll pass that in. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so, and Jay, you can get something else. Okay, we are going to, we're a little behind time, so hopefully, I hope you guys don't have something to do next, so if you'll just take a few moments with us. We are going to talk to some of our current students who are already in college. Some are advanced to sophomore, some are a little further. So I'll have you all introduce yourselves, whoever wants to go first, and then tell us a little bit about your college experience. What level are you at currently and things like that?
All right. Hello, everybody, again. So my name's Jonathan. I'm going into my sophomore year of college. Well, technically, I guess I'm a junior, but I'm going into my sophomore year of college. I'm a government Plan 2, which is an honors major at UT, and I'm also pre-law.
Wonderful. Thank you. Oh, and tell us a little bit about your college experience thus far.
It was a little bit of an adjustment from high school, but overall, I would say that I've had a positive experience so far.
Okay, good.
Hello, everyone. I'm Sean Ray. I'm going to be a junior. I major in business right now, and I recently graduated from Blinn, and I'm transferring to Concordia University in Austin. My college experience so far it's been okay. Blinn it wasn't as hard as the usual college experience is, but it was kind of like I test the waters a little bit to know what it is before I move out to, a bigger city and more responsibilities. So I have big hopes for where I'm going. And yeah.
Hello, my name is Tanaya Wills. I am going into my sophomore year at Texas State. I would say that my experience has been well. I think that going there, not so far, but it's 2 hours away, and it's hard for me to get back home and see my family. And so I think I just miss that. I'm a very family-oriented person, and so like first just adjusting, not seeing my family and my friends. People always say like you'll find your best friends in college and stuff like that, but I had already my best friends, and I was trying to find my friends. I was trying to find Lamaya, Kim, and Natty and everybody that I met, and I couldn't do that. And so it was a little hard just adjusting, being there just by myself. So, yeah, but it's been good. It's been good. My freshman year was still good.
Okay, good. We'll talk a little bit more about the friend thing too. But all of you have at least a year or 2 or 3 under your belt now, and so what would you have given yourself as advice as a freshman? Like, what would be your advice now that you've been there?
Don't procrastinate.
Don't procrastinate.
I procrastinated a lot freshman year, and it led to me getting a D in one of my classes. So, yeah, do not procrastinate. It'll come back and get you when you really don't want it to.
Good tip.
This is, I guess you would say, on a person-by-person basis, because it is for some people and not for other people. But I would tell myself not to take those very early morning classes, especially if it's going to be a difficult course that early in the morning. I took Spanish. It was either an 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock class. And that I got a B my first semester, which is not the worst grade, but you don't want to start off college with a B when you're trying to get a 4.0. So I would tell myself to be more vigilant in looking into what you're taking, what time you're taking it, and what professor you're taking, because all that really matters when it comes to what your GPA is going to be.
Absolutely, and being aware of who you are. If you know you're not a morning person, don't get in that 8 o'clock class, the real tough 8 o'clock class. I know I took a college success class, and I just had to show up. When I tell y'all, I had to retake this class, because 8 o'clock was rough. Okay, you have something you want to say on that? No? Okay. All right, so, kind of the same question. Like, what should you have done in high school that would have better prepared you for college?
Done my research a little better.
Okay.
Like he was saying, just
Self or sorry?
School and self. Like I didn't know what I was getting into. I'm a first-time grad in my family, so nobody really I have people telling me what to do and stuff like that, but this is my own experience, and I didn't know what really to do, so I wish I just did a little more experience as far as college and student, knowing what classes to take, knowing what classes not to take. Yeah.
I would say to know my habits before I get there, to know what I'm not good at, what I need to fix, and what I need to keep doing. So, yeah.
That's good. Okay. All right, so we know there's challenges. You all have already talked about a couple of things, but what has been one of the hardest things that you had to really adjust to, and then how'd you overcome it, or are you currently overcoming it?
You go first? Go ahead. Got you. Okay, so I would say I don't really have a lot of trouble within a class, because I usually am very good at memorizing material, regurgitating it back onto a test, and getting a pretty good grade. But you don't have somebody telling you have to go to class, you have to do your work. So it's kind of hard to find that intrinsic motivation or internal motivation. So that's just something that I had to develop early on that first semester to make sure that I did what I needed to do.
Yeah, be more disciplined. You can lack motivation, but still be disciplined. Like not wanting to go to class, but still going to class and doing what you're supposed to do. But yeah, you need, I had to build that discipline as well. Not just because I don't want to go to class, I'm not going to go to class. I can't do that. You have to do your work or you don't.
Ooh, I wish I learned that early. You got to, okay. So this actually, your answers kind of go into this next question. You're shifting, so thinking about growing up. So, Elijah, we're transitioning into where we have to take care of responsibilities. Maybe somebody has done everything for you, taking care of all your bills and all that stuff. But now you got to do it. You got to, take care of you. You got to make sure that you're talking to your professor and making sure things are taken care of. Tell me about that. Like, how has that been, taking control and responsibility for yourself?
So I never had anybody like I washed dishes and I washed my own clothes. So like that wasn't a problem as far as like personal responsibilities. But yes, like you said, like just going and doing what you have no rules, no one to tell you what to do or no one to tell you what not to do. So you're really on your own. So it's a learning experience. Like you just, yeah.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Yeah, I kind of agree with the you just do it mentality, because you either figure it out or you don't. You really don't have a choice whether or not you figure it out. So if it comes to a time where you're sick, can't make a class, if you don't reach out to your professor, that's on you. You get an absence that's not excused. If you don't take care of what you need to eat, then you don't eat. So it's just something that you either take care of it and make it through, or you don't really want to know what the alternative is, I guess.
You grown already? You good? No, and even thinking about that, you talked about coming home and like, what's your ideas on the social aspect? Like, you have new friends, possibly. You have new people that you're dealing with. You have administrators and professors. Like, what has that social life been like for you?
It's been okay.
Is it okay?
Because one thing is, yeah, you make new friends, but you don't know everybody. Not everybody has their best interests in you. So always look after yourself first before you try to do this and that, for other people. So make sure you take care of your business, and then you can, hang with your friends.
That's good.
So I would say, to answer the question directly first, I really love the social aspect of college. Take that as you will. But I went into college with the mindset of focusing on networking and putting myself out there, because it's very easy for me to become an antisocial person just because that's what's more natural for me. So I made sure to reach out to other students, get into organizations, reach out to professors so that I could build some relationships with people who have more connections within the community of Austin, within the work I want to do. And overall, that is very important for anybody that wants to go to college, because while you're there to get the degree and everything else, you're there to be able to work in the profession that you're studying in. And one of the main things in order to be successful in that is connections and knowing somebody who knows somebody.
Okay, and so, let's talk more about this social life that you love so much. What has, how do you balance that? Of course, you're at college for, they talk about it being an educational experience, not just for academics, but it's also so that you learn how to relate to different types of people in your career. So tell me, how are you all balancing all of that?
I'll say that at certain points, I'm better at balancing it than others. Mm-hmm. I haven't been completely perfect throughout these first 2 semesters, and there's some things that I'm probably not going to say just so that I don't incriminate myself with some of the experiences that I've had. But overall, it's another one of those situations where you figure it out. So you get one bad grade on a test here because you spent too much time socializing and doing other things. So then the next week you come back, say, I'm going to focus more on the studying and less time on the socializing. And you just figure out what your balance is, because it's different from each person.
So I agree. I do like my social life that I have, but balancing it can be hard. Like he said, that it sometimes it's harder than other times, but I think that how I balance it is just I It's discipline. Like it's really, that's really it. You either do it or you don't. Like you either say you can't go out with these people and you can't do this, and you actually do what you're supposed to do, or you don't, and then you go out and then you get a bad grade on your test. So it's like you have to have discipline. That's the biggest thing. And I've had to ask God for more discipline because it's hard. I got out by myself, and I like I said, I'm very family oriented, and not being able to come back home that took a toll on me. And so, yeah, I think you just gotta pray for discipline.
Agreed.
And that, I think that's a really good point, thinking about discipline, which is just doing it because you know it needs to be done. And just a couple more questions. How do you manage stress? We know there's stressful situations, tests come up, things like that. How do you all manage it? How do you take care of yourself? What's your, self-care have you developed while being in school?
I definitely say praying is a good way to, ease your way of stress and all the work and class you have to do. Another way is just, I guess, to go for a walk. It's pretty nice, to just have your own thoughts and, not too much going on. So yeah.
That's good.
I don't really have an answer for the question because that's still something that I guess I would say I'm struggling with right now, because I do find myself becoming very stressed with a lot of the stuff that I'm involved in, all the things I'm working on, that kind of stuff. So I guess I would just say that I have to remember that that's normal. Being in college is a stressful experience. While it's fun, you get to go to parties, get to have friends, all that kind of stuff. It is stressful. You have to worry about maintaining your grades. Might have a job on top of that. Might have a side hustle just because you need to make sure you have enough money to pay for your groceries and all that kind of stuff. So it's just normal at the end of the day. And I guess that's the best way to cope with it and to, I guess, understand it in your own mind.
I agree. I cry. I talk to God. That's how I help with my stress. I am also working on it, but also I've realized, I'm still realizing that if you're stressing about it, won't change anything. You being mad about it or sad about it, it's not gonna change anything at the end of the day. So you have to change your mindset, and then yeah, you'll be all right. It'll come though. Stress is a part of college. That's point blank period. You have your personal life, you have school, academics, and you have a job on top of that, all that stuff. It's gonna be hard, it's gonna be stressful, but you stressing about it won't change anything.
That's good. And I encourage, if you do not have a relationship with Jesus, that is a major part. And so make sure you have that first. You had a question? Yeah.
I had a comment, then I wanted to hear from Brandon over here some of those same questions, and since he's the furthest, I guess, along in this group, of what he thought. But talking about stress, and I know, and I think all of colleges have now incorporated this, mental health, and I had a student who almost wiped out. I think
That's good.
And along with stress, I mean, that is true, because I had to play counselor at Prairie View. I had this young man, a football player, he was having some stressful moments with his girlfriend. He called me at 3 o'clock in the morning, he said, Mr. Smith, I'm going through some stuff right now, and I'm about to drink a bottle of Clorox. I said, no. I said, don't do that. I said, come down, let's talk. And I also called the police so he can come in and try to see and talk to this person. But he was really stressful, and he told me he was stressful, and he was having relationship problems with his girlfriend. And I told him, I said, well, that's not a reason to take your life like that. I mean, don't drink Clorox. I mean, you just sit down and talk about it. Can y'all communicate about it a little more?
Yeah.
I know, but there are some very stressful moments in college, and great panel.
Yeah,
Love the panel.
absolutely. Yeah, and reach out. Yeah.
You guys have to talk about this relationship thing, huh? You need to talk about that relationship.
Okay, we'll talk about it in a second. You want to give like some advice or yeah, just any of the questions. Yeah.
As far as resources and like if you do need help to relieve some of that stress, and to balance it out around a lot of the campuses, I know at least on my campus, there's a lot of things set in order. When we do need help, if it's schoolwork, if it's like we need someone to talk to, they even have lawyers available. So if we run into incidents, it's not all like a load on us. So a thing that I didn't take advantage of my first couple of years in college was the resources. I kind of just wanted to do everything on my own and be hard-headed about it. And I ended up losing a couple of my scholarships I had because I was short on one class. I think I took 14 hours and I was supposed to take 16. And it was all because I made a mistake. I didn't reach out to the right resources I needed to. And then just going over the bumps on the road, I learned to like reach out and use those resources as much as I want to, and like because it's there for us and they want to help us. So that's a big thing. Definitely is just using all the resources, the discounts, and really knowing what all your campus offers, and then taking advantage of those things.
That's good. Thank you. Absolutely. Yes.
I was wondering if each one of your panel can debunk one of the ideas that you had when you were headed into school, and I know you probably answered it in some way. Is there that one thing that you had in your mind about college, and when you got there, that wasn't it?
Yeah, I can go ahead and answer that question. So everyone told me you're gonna make your best friends in college. You're gonna have so many friends. You're gonna have so many friends, and I did. I did great. I did create some good relationships, but I went and I got like. Not played, but I got played by a few people. Not everyone was in my best interest. Not everyone was there to be there for me and me be there for them. Not everyone was like I thought my childhood friends would be like. I thought the first people I met were everybody. I'm creating great relationships. Not everybody is for you. So I think going into that, it's like. It's good to have a positive outlook on college, but I think I just got filled in that into my head. And yeah, just know that you will create great relationships, but not everyone is, girl or boy, is not good for you. Not everyone.
I'd say maybe I think some people think college is easier because you have more freedom to do, choose what you want to do, but that's not necessarily the case because you may think something's easier and you may know what it is, but then once you get in that class and how the professor teaches, it might not be your speed or it might be too slow or too fast. So, because one of my professors, I took microeconomics, and he talked kind of fast. And I didn't really understand as much, so I was like, hold on, I wasn't ready for that, so I had to come back after class and ask him a couple questions. So, you got to be prepared for anything because it's really not what you think. If that's what you think it is, it could be totally different. So, yeah.
I guess I would say that going into college, I was a little bit unrealistic with what my workload would be able to be, because in high school I feel like I did a lot basketball team, got my associate's degree, exec board for like 2 different clubs, general body member for like 3 other clubs. Going into college, I assumed that I would just be able to pick right back up on that because I like being involved. I like doing a lot of things. But it isn't as easy as I thought it would be. Not to say that it's impossible, because I'm kind of trying to do the same thing this next year. We'll see how it works. But it's not easy. And I kind of took for granted the amount of work that it would take to maintain that kind of workload on this level.
That's good. Yeah, I know it was 20 years ago when I went to school, but high school seemed kind of easy, so when I got to college, I just knew I was just going to, fly through, and that was not the case when I took zoology 4 times. So, sometimes you just gotta, just know it might be a little bit tougher. And you asked about relationships. What question did you have?
I heard a lot from one panelist about relationships and why is that important, or is that important? And again, I constantly have these students, they come to college and that's the first thing they seem to do is get a girlfriend or boyfriend or several. And playing all of these games, what we can do, we experiment, we're doing this, so we're over here with boys and girls and all. Yeah. Well, why is that so important, or is that important? How important is that? Why you can't just go to school? Why you gotta have a relationship?
Poopy. No. I would say I was looking for my family in Texas State. I needed someone to keep me grounded while I was there. I'm aware, but y'all are still 2 hours away. Y'all can't do as much as a person there with me. You know what I mean? And I wasn't saying I don't mean that I was looking for, you know what I mean? I wasn't looking for validation, but I also went into school with the very overly overly positive attitude where I thought I'm just a genuine person and I have a big heart, and I thought everybody was the same way, and they're not. But that's not everybody. That's just me.
I would also say that these relationships at this point in our lives, meaning from, I guess you would say, high school up until this point, are extremely important because this is the point in our lives where we are trying to develop our own identity. And that includes who we choose to associate with, who we choose to surround ourselves with. So making those decisions, whether they be the right decisions or wrong decisions, is all a part of becoming the person you want to be as an adult. And I feel that's just all part of it.
So where did Jesus go? Because all of you guys are in church. So we're talking about relationships. Where does God and what does your spiritual relationship come in all of that? And talking about identity and all of those kind of things. Where does that come in? And a piggyback on that, because you hear these people, again, this experimental age scares me. And so I'm away from my parents, and so now I can do my own thing. I couldn't do that. I couldn't bring no girl in my room. I couldn't bring no diamond. So now, where's the balance when it comes to that?
So I say, while you're building your identity, it does not mean that the foundation of your identity still does not come from the home and how you were brought up and how you were raised. So just because we're looking into, I don't even know, because I probably wouldn't describe it as an experimental age just because I've never used that terminology. But just because we are looking at new relationships, getting new information, just because we're in college, it does not mean that the relationship we have with Jesus or anything that we were taught in the home just disappears. That is still all a part of who you are as a person.
Yeah, I agree. I know my relationship with God now in the beginning of my freshman year is different, but that's just with growing. And I think I can be honest with you. I didn't talk to God as much. I didn't pray, and I didn't do that as much as the beginning of my first semester. And then I started seeing that I needed God. Like I was falling off with my relationship with Him, and He was showing me in different ways. And that's where I've started to grow my relationship more with him. So I can say that now going into my sophomore year, it will be different. Just knowing and appreciating God more than I did. And that is also what tainted all my relationships or starting school freshman year.
Actually, can I piggyback off that one time? Because I also want to say my relationship with God has changed a lot from when I was in high school, middle school, and all of that, because I've had more opportunity now with all this freedom and these new experiences to experience God in a new light, in a new way. Again, I don't want to say too much to incriminate myself or get myself in trouble at home, but there has been some incidents where if it wasn't for God, nobody knows where I would be. So, like I said, just because it's new, it does not mean it detracts from what you were brought up with or what you already know.
Yes, it's very important to build a relationship early with God, to know who's for you and who's not for you. Because God will tell you who's, that spirit of discernment will tell you, I don't know about them, Because, that's why it's good to always, it's very good to grow that relationship early so you don't have to be lost or be thinking about that person's good for you. You'll know when you get there.
I have a question. So going into this college or new environment, did it challenge the things that you believed at first? I'm saying, like your Christianity, like your belief in God, did it challenge or make you question what you believed before?
Not necessarily. So on the basketball team, I had a couple teammates that were Muslim, and I learned a few things about what they believe in, what they practice, and I guess it just kind of made me believe even stronger, because some of the stuff that they believed in, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but it didn't really click to my head and make sense to me. So it just kind of I just grew stronger within what I believe in.
I would say there's a lot of different experiences in college that do challenge what you believe in, whether it just be conversations with somebody. Even if you're not talking religiously, politically, you're also challenged just because there are people who view the world differently than you do. So just in conversation, your views are challenged. But I don't think that is necessarily a bad thing, because through those challenges, you either reinforce what you believe or are opened up to a new possibility of what could be something that you were blind to before. And I guess I would say that's just been my experience so far.
Yeah, it's a good panel. And we are way over time, so thank y'all for hanging with us. I wanted to ask you, Mr. Brandon, any advice that you would give, even these who are coming behind you, any advice, just anything. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. I would say no matter what, through the paths and the challenges, because there will be challenges and there will be rough bumps in our paths. We always do have to keep God first, no matter what. And then also just God's timing. Not everything is going to come to us right when we want it. There might be a time where we have a little study block where we can't really figure out how we need to really implement what we're trying to learn into our minds. And then, just talking to God and, waiting on his timing. And then he's going to show you something oh, okay, well, try studying it this way. And then it'll click. Organization is a big thing. And, having a schedule or having just some type of organization where you can lay everything out. Because, with me coming out of high school, I thought college was going to be a breeze. And I was in for, because, with freedom comes responsibility. And I was just looking at the freedom and just trying to have fun. And I kind of, lost touch in my schedule. So a schedule and organization, I feel are very important. And then, just, staying in touch with God and calling your people back home again, even if it's a phone call, a set day of a week, where you call all your people, check on them, see what they're doing, tell them about how you're experiencing things. And I think other than that, there is some learning that we just have to face because it's life. But through that, we just got to keep praying, stay true to ourselves, and cause there's people coming from all over the place, and you can't let all of that alter what you know you are and how you grew up and how you came about. So.
Thank you. That's really good. And before you ask your question, any students, you have any questions or any advice? Some of you have already been in college. You've been away for college. Any thoughts? Yeah.
I feel like us being in college at this time, I feel like our intimate time with God is very important. I feel like we should always have that alone time with God, no matter what's going on, no matter what plans we have. That intimate time is very important.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing. Anybody else? A question for some of our incoming freshmen?
Any questions, Trey?
Is he our only one?
You're the only incoming
I think
freshman.
you are right now. We have a couple coming, but I think you're the only incoming freshman.
Not necessarily.
Okay.
I'm just scared of the workload. You know what I mean?
There's no need to be fearful.
Is it? Okay, I heard that you do have a lot more work, but still more time to study and everything. Because in high school, you go to school every day, and then you, after hours, you might be able to squeeze in some study time. But with colleges, you have maybe one class this day, one class the other day. So it's more work, but is it more time to study? You know what I mean?
Sometimes it depends on the professor. They'll give you stuff some professors will give you a lot of work. Some won't give you too much, but it's really up to you. If you want to do a lot of work, then look up those professors and hash it out. But if you don't, then if you don't get a lot of work, then you probably should do a little bit more studying on the side too, because some professors they just don't give you too much.
Yeah, I would say the same thing that he said. I don't know if I would say it's more work in college because, frankly, I feel like I did more actual schoolwork in high school just because you're there from 7 to 4, and then you got stuff after school. So I wouldn't say it's more work. The challenge is managing your time with the work that you're given. So it's hard to want to do that work when you have everything else you could be doing in terms of extracurriculars, parties, whatever else is going on outside of your class. It's about managing your time to get that stuff done. And then also, like he said, the professor does have a big impact on how much work you're doing within the class. So I live by rate my professor. I only pick classes if a professor has a rating on there so that I know what I'm looking at before I sign up for a class. That would be my biggest advice, just because it gives you a good outlook on what the class will look like before you sign up for it.
Some professors don't give you a lot of work because they don't want to grade.
Yeah.
They don't want to grade papers. And it just depends.
Yeah, it really does depend on the professors. Some professors, they'll have just everything due on Sunday, but you have to split your time up and make sure you get everything done by Sunday 11:59 p.m. And then if not, then some other teachers won't have any work. You just show up to class and then you pass the test. That's all they have. So it just depends. And you also have to look at the syllabus. Make sure you look at every syllabus, and they'll have all of the dates, all of the assignments on there. And that's where you can tell what kind of professor you will really have. And the syllabus will tell you that they do not accept absences, or they do accept absences, or they do accept late work, or they don't accept late work, but they're not going to baby you. If it says, we use Canvas, I don't know, but if all colleges use Canvas, but Canvas tells you what time is due, when it's due, stuff like that. The professor won't baby you and tell you, we have an assignment due on Friday, make sure you do it. They won't, so you make sure you do it. I think that there is a difference in workload. Like he said, you are in high school there from 7 to 4, but your classes, it'll be 2-hour classes or 1-hour classes, and then after that you go home and they don't see you until you only have 2 days of class a week, and so or 3 days. This depends on what you take, but yeah, it really just depends on the professor, and you have to. I use Rate My Professor, so check on that as well before you sign up for classes, and then.
And everybody should have a planner. Either you use Google, use your paper.
Use a planner.
Yes.
Use a planner. Please
Yes.
use a planner.
Look at all of those syllabus. Every class you have, write down all your deadlines so that you have them. You look at your next week. Oh, I got so-and-so coming up. Plan your week out according to what's coming up. So if you know in 2 weeks you have a test, what do you need to be doing this week to work up to that 2 weeks to make sure that you're prepared for that test? That's the best way to do it, I think. And like I say, if it's Google, I put everything in my Google map on my phone. Not map. Google Calendar on my phone, a reminder, a task, Use those kind of tools, whatever works best for you. Paper works, write everything down, carry it with you in your bag, stuff like that is very helpful. And Miss.
What's that?
Pulse?
Pulse is just an app, and I meant to show it on the picture. It's a red app, and it's got almost like one of those heart things on it, but it's called Pulse. And you plug in your school or your teacher. Did you ever use Pulse?
Nah, I didn't really get that.
You plug it in, and what Pulse will do is it'll send you a reminder automatically, like a text message to your phone. Oh, in math, you have this due on Monday, or this is coming up. So look at Pulse, because I think all schools, or you can get it with every school, and if your instructors, but that's a big thing at Glenn is Pulse.
I never heard of that.
But of course, yes, a planner, write everything down, because I tell you again, those students that come to me and say, I didn't know we had a test today.
It's in the syllabus. It's in the syllabus. I promise you it is.
And the syllabus is a contract. Yeah. Yeah.
Like you said, I am a paper person as well. I keep my planner in my purse at all times. But being in the day that we are, being on the go in such a busy world, that everybody has Apple for the most part. But the calendar in here, the amount of alerts that it'll give you and things like that, you just 5 minutes, plug it all there, and you'll never miss anything.
Absolutely. Yeah, for the semester. Yeah. Yeah.
Completely skip your mind. You're gonna look at this.
That's true.
My suggestion.
You were gonna say something? No. Oh. Okay, we are way over time. Thank y'all. Any final words?
One more thing. Everybody, Josh, save your money now. Save it now. Save a lot. And then when you get to school, don't be frivolous, because you do have a lot of freedom. Don't spend it all. Don't. Save your money, and then when you get money, still keep a little bit. Like we did the 40-30-20 rule. Save as much as you can get, because you don't have rent or nothing to pay for right now necessarily. So just save it, because then when you need it really in college and you don't have it, it's going to be a problem. So just save your money. Huh? Don't eat your seed. Amen. Don't eat your seed. If y'all been listening, you know what that is.
Stay focused. It's hard. It's very easy to lose focus and get sidetracked doing other stuff. So just stay focused on what you're doing, and then it'll all pay off sooner or later.
I know I'm harping this a lot, because I hear this all the time. Don't get trapped. Don't get trapped into something, all right? Everything that glitters is not gold.
Yeah.
There's young men and some good-looking young men. And there's some young ladies out there that came to school so they can get a husband, so they can get a boyfriend.
Baby daddy,
so
really.
They can get a baby. So they can catch plays. I mean, you a kid. But whatever the case is, don't get caught up in that. All right? All these young ladies, you want to have a boyfriend. You want, that's not what's important. So don't get caught up, because some of these people, some good-looking people. Right? And tell the truth, they will come and offer themselves to you, won't they? Y'all think I'm playing?
Yes.
They will come. You don't have to promise. Used to be, we didn't talk to boys. Boys talk to us. We couldn't call them on the phone and stuff.
It is different. It's very different.
She'll come and tell you, I'll give you this, and you, yes, she will too. They know it too. See how they
go. I mean, and I know that you have a girlfriend already, and so like going to college.
Me?
Yeah. You don't? I'm sorry. That just put you in there. My
It
bad.
is.
Okay, Jonathan. Moving
good.
good. Moving good. Moving good. My bad. My bad. Okay.
I guess what I would have to say ties into that though, which is discernment. It's very easy to make bad decisions in college, and all my decisions have not been the best while I've been there. So just try your best to practice discernment and stay prayerful about most decisions that you make. And that would just be all I have to say.
That's beautiful. And I know we answer your final thought question? Yeah. Oh, yours. Okay. That's okay. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for staying. Thank you for thank our panelists. That was so good. We will definitely have to do that next year again. I do want to say, as I stated, our goal for this was stay on the path, and so we've heard a lot of talks about the idea of staying on the path. You have to have a goal in mind. What's our goal? Get the paper. Get the money, graduate, go into a career, all this kind of stuff. Very good. So know what your goal is and know the things that will distract you from that goal, distract you off that path. Understand that they're there. Acknowledge they're there. Acknowledge that you can't handle everything by yourself. Get some resources, get some help, and things like that, and that will be most appropriate for me. Can you give me the ticket box? And we'll give away the rest of these prizes. And you all, thank you again for coming and sharing with us. Take some pizza on your way out. Get you a prize. Who didn't get anything yet? Lamaya, come on up. Come on up. You got something already? Come on up. Oh, you had a question? Oh, go ahead. Yeah. You two didn't get something? Come on up. Oh, okay. Let me move out the way. He said he answered a question earlier and he didn't get anything. And before you leave, we just want to pray over you guys. So grab your items and then we'll pray. Okay, I'll pull tickets again in a second. If we can all stand, and then we'll give away the rest of the prizes. All stand. I encourage you all again. I said if you get my phone number, get Sister Tasha's phone number, get whoever's phone number. If you need to talk to us, if we just need to give you help you out, you just had a question about anything, we are here for you. Brother Doc, I'm going to ask that you come and pray for this group of people as they journey into a new school year.
All right. I want you all to live your lives with eternity in mind, to keep in mind that this dispensation of time or this time won't last forever. And so when we talk about dispensation of time, this time where you are in school and we talked about it, it's called eating your seed. When you don't take advantage of this time now, and then later when you get old like me, you may say, man, I should have. Don't live your life like I should have, but take full advantage of everything that you can today. Amen. Even us coming and talking and spending time with you and eating pizza with you and Skittles and all of that, use this time to your advantage, all right? So now I'm going to pray and ask God to bless you. Father God, we thank you and love you for who you are. We thank you, God, that you are real and that you can speak to our lives and you can govern our lives if we allow you to. We ask you today for all of these young people that are here today. We pray, God, that you would touch their hearts. Lord God, that they would know you, that they would understand what your purpose in this life is. Number one, to glorify you and to live full lives, to live lives that are abundant and righteous and being a light in this dark and perverse world. I ask you, God, to give them good minds, to give them good understanding, to give them good retention, Lord God, of the information information that is given them. Give them the good, the righteous insight, Lord God, and help them to love one another and to love you more than anything. I pray, Father God, that you would keep them safe from hurt, harm, and danger. I pray, God, that you would protect their minds from the evil ideas and ideologies that want to come in and change their minds about you. I ask you, God, to watch them and keep them in your care. This is my prayer in Jesus' name. Amen.